So, this happened yesterday. I didn't get a chance to watch it. We are going to watch it. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I'm sold. Yep, I'm already sold. Yep, I'm in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Ashes of Creation update. Today, we are going to be sharing with you a preview of the Alpha 2 tank archetype. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind as you're watching this preview that everything is still subject to change, especially considering that the Alpha 2 is going to give us a lot of feedback, both from the players as well as data-driven, that we're going to utilize in order to improve the design features. But your feedback from this video is very important. And I am joined today by three of our absolute glorious developers. One of our engineers with whom you've spoken with in the past. Keenan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Welcome back again. We are here at it again. For those of you who watched, by the way, on the live stream, you saw a previous
I like the weapon.
The weapon
looks okay.
We're doing a little bit of re-recording because
sword.
there were some audio issues. And also, I just wanted to give a little bit more in-depth detail around the specific abilities, the area that we're fighting in, and the encounter design. But also, we have with us two of our glorious senior designers, Brian and Trad. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Happy to be here.
Yep, let's do it again. We got a lot of practice on this by now.
Yes, let's do it again. And this
Warmed
time,
up.
you know what we're going to do? We are going to perform flawlessly. There's not going to be any edits here. We're not going to use some GM powers. We better do this good.
I'm not liking the heat
here we
for
go.
this.
I know. Okay, so before we get started, first, let's talk about the area that we're in. This is the Riverlands. As many of you know, the Riverlands is one of the predominant areas in Alpha 2 that players will be exploring. This was home to the once ancient Aelan Empire, a human race nation that was formed at the apex of Vera before the fall. And we are here to collect some gear. I believe that I am looking...
It's obvious that the UI has had a number of improvements. And you can see right here, this is like obviously a shield. This seems like it's some sort of a healing icon. This is some sort of a damage, like big sword. So it's obviously the guy with like the black coat. And this is the ranger because you can see the bow and arrow. I like the icons here. And just in general, I feel like it's been improved a lot. The UI looks a lot better.
For the remaining pieces of the Titan Bark set. Is that right, Brian?
Yes.
Awesome.
And also there's a weapon and the shield available for you.
Okay, so the weapon and the shield are going to show us a little bit of the iteration that you've been working on since our last live stream.
I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit to get to the actual combat and everything, okay?
The animation team has done great jobs on both of those.
Okay, here's
fronts.
a menu they're going to pull up.
And then let me talk a little bit about the setting. So in the Riverlands here, what our objectives are, you'll see a little bit of update here on the UI. So we're taking a look at...
This looks great. Yeah, this is great. I don't really have anything to complain about. W.
Our new quest journal. The area that we're going to be heading towards is called the Oakenbane Keep. And the Oakenbane Keep is once military academy before the fall of the Aelan Empire during the Exodus.
He's reading the quest.
And it was used to kind of train up recruits, but now those recruits and perhaps some of their teachers might be haunting that location, and we need to take care of them and dispatch them with haste.
Somebody says in chat, EverQuest 2 graphics, sorry, disagree. I think it's very fair to criticize the optimization and the fidelity of the ground effects, the characters, the trees, etc. It is extremely fair to criticize that. I do, however, think that all of these UI features are high quality and they look very good. Like, if the game released with these here, like this journal, this thing here, maybe you'd need some more stuff for this, to be fair. This map, I would be satisfied.
You'll see some of the updates on the itemization and the inventory.
There's the backpack.
Here with some of the tooltips and icons. And also you'll see a little bit of the update to the world map, which is still a work in progress. Everything you're going to see here, as I said, is a work in progress that is deserving of your attention and feedback so that we can make more iterations and, of course, make it better. So with that being said, let's do a quick kind of run through of the abilities. I don't want to get necessarily engaged with any enemies, so I'm just going to kind of use the abilities without an enemy kind of in my targeting. Let's talk about this first one. We have a shield assault. Now, does this require a shield in order to use?
It would make sense that shield assault would require a shield.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, of course, I have the ability because of the GM cheats a little bit to use that ability without the shield, but I'm not going to for the purposes of this demonstration.
Okay.
But tell me a little bit about the shield assault. What is its intent as an ability, guys?
Yeah. So it's got a few things going on with it.
Like, obviously, maybe like a little bit more UI, like information here would be nice, or at least it would be nice if you could turn it on. But like the mechanic here seems fine. It applies some sort of like shaken, and then if they already have it, it stuns them. That's good.
I would say the primary intent of it is that it is how you engage an encounter. It's got a bit of a mobility. It's not like a super far charge like that carries you across the screen or anything, but yeah, there you go.
All right, let me see it again.
Not like a super far charge like that carries you across the screen or anything, but yeah, there you go. But it's basically a way to engage with the enemy, get some damage out, and also grab some threat.
Sure.
It applies a pretty good chunk of threat in a small area in front of you, so it's really good at grabbing snap threat on like some high priority target.
And it looks like...
I hope they don't go with the idea of having aggro a challenge. I think that it's way more interesting for a tank to play to have aggro but still deal like 60 to 80% of a DPS's damage. I've never found managing threat in WoW as fun, or in any game really.
That this has a variable distance that's traveled, so essentially, like, if I have a target that's directly in front of me right now, it's not predicated on having an actual target, but it is a templated attack. And if that target is immediately in front of me, then the distance traveled will be shorter. Is that correct?
Exactly, and you'll see some of that when we're actually in action. Right now, you're seeing the full distance. It's, again, a pretty short range mobility skill, but yeah, you can also just use it point blank on something, and it's not going to make you overshoot the target, and then you have to like reposition, because that can be kind of annoying with some of those skill types.
Awesome. Sure. And you said that this generates threat, but I see we have a second ability as well called Inciting Strikes. And if I use that ability, that's a forward cone AoE attack that generates additional threat and damage on targets impacted. Is that correct?
Exactly. That one's a bit more effective at AoE threat, so it's got a bit of a wider hitbox, good for grabbing multiple targets and cleaving them all. So that'll be what you'll be using if like there's a pack of stuff on us and you want to just get them all off of us. But not quite as much threat as the shield assault for one target. So each of them kind of has their utility there for aggro.
Awesome. Now, obviously,
I think in terms of animations, WoW has some really great animations. Like, for example, Warrior Whirlwind is a great animation. I also think that, like, Raging Blow is a great animation. There's a handful of other ones. But, like, the games that have really great animations, in my mind, are, like, Lost Ark and Black Desert Online. I love those animations. They're so good.
Part of our kit design, we want to encourage synergies, especially within inner kit synergy, but also with the party. And I see that we have two abilities, specifically Shield Assault as well as Tremoring Bellow. And Tremoring Bellow applies a status condition that can be promoted if there is an existing status condition on the target. So it looks like I can create the shaken condition, and then I can trip shaken targets with the Tremoring Bellow. Is that correct?
It's actually a snare. So if you use that on a snared target, so there's two components to that ability.
Okay.
It's got a shout component, which is a forward cone, and then it's all as you can kind of see there, that shock wave that flew out, and it kind of extends past the second element of that, which is a PBOE around Steven. If you use that ability again, you'll see kind of like the ground kick up, and that's like the earthquake element of it. And that does damage, and
cool.
that does what Steven was alluding to, where if your target is snared, then it will knock enemies down, which is our trip effect. Awesome. And one thing I forgot to mention on the shield assault abilities, it does apply a snare, so you've got a little bit of insert hit synergy going on there. It's a pretty sad.
I would say it would definitely be cool if, I don't know if this is the way it's animated, but if it's animated for the reverberations to go out whenever it despawns, it would be cool if they went back in. So it feels like it actually, like, it's like less gamey. You know, it looks like it's actually interacting with the world. It's like a small like animation
charge in
thing.
And then knock them down with the stop.
I do think animations and the game feeling good to play.
And then also after that,
like super important.
We have another ability. Brian, talk to me a little bit about grit and its purpose.
Yeah, grit is some of your bread and butter mitigation skills as a tank. So if you're really getting some heat, you'll want to pop that. And if you haven't had it on for a bit, you're going to be generating stacks of courage, and the more stacks of courage you have, that'll give you increased damage mitigation for a certain number of hits.
And I noticed that I'm slowed when I used grit, so really it's a very situational ability usage, depending on...
Isn't this exactly how the Gun Lancer works in Lost Ark? I feel like this looks very similar.
You know, what type of situation you find yourself in. Also, this can be activated mid-swing in another ability, right?
Yep. The way I always refer to this ability is you can think of it kind of like an off GCD ability, where you can use it even though you have another ability activating, so that it's really responsive and can be popped in like an emergency. You don't have to wait for that animation to complete or for that global cooldown to finish. You just pop it in instantly. It applies on and off, and it's toggled ability, so you can kind of turn it on and off at your disclosure.
Nice, very cool. And I see this Aegis is causing essentially a area of effect that our party members can live within, and if they do, I'm absorbing a portion of their damage taken pre-mitigation.
Isn't that like the Paladin limit break?
Keenan?
Like not exactly, but
yeah,
like
that's right.
Close to it.
It forks some percentage of the incoming hit and applies it to your mitigation, not the party members.
Nice, very cool, very cool. All right, well, this kind of gives you guys a comprehensive overview. I'm sorry. In addition to that, we have a grapple, but that will require a target. And the grapple is missing some of the effects, as I said, work in progress, but we can still use it in order to kind of do certain types of engagements. So with that quick kind of demonstration of these abilities, let's see what we can do to acquire that Mace and Shield, and also
let's see some gameplay. Here we go.
Test our capabilities as a party. How cohesive can we be? So I would ask, given that we're low level, and just so you guys are aware, because we're lower level, we're about level 15, our access to our class kit is a bit limited, as you would expect. You want to have that ramp and kind of class progression. And as a result, I'm going to ask, because we have such strong DPS users here in the fighter and in the ranger, that you give me a moment with the larger monsters to establish kind of a...
Wait for 5 Sunders.
A bit of threat. But let me pull this guy to us.
Does not compute.
Does not compute.
I think the flashing lights are I think the flashing lights are a bit too much. Like, this reminds me a lot of like Hurricane in Wrath right now, where like it's flashy, it's like super flashy. I don't think that's super necessary.
Oh yeah, okay. It's feeling good. I love the little stream, the ambient sound effects that Cat has done.
You can lower, okay.
It really gets,
yeah, the stream's really nice.
It puts us. It makes me need to go to the bathroom. No, I'm just kidding.
AFK, BRB.
There we go. Got that knockdown. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, now as you guys will see, these guys are relatively easy to dispatch. You probably saw them in our Ranger Showcase. These are some of the Minotaurs that are out in the early parts of this Riverland area. We're trying to reach the Oakenbane Keep. That is the location of our goodies, and the quests that we have, they deserved better. Probably referring to the people that died there, which is really sad to think about. Oh my god. Got him!
Did you pull that rain collar in? That works.
Just smash his face. Easy peasy. What do we got up here? Looks like a destroyed boat. What was a boat even doing here in the first place?
Yeah, I think target of target. Somebody mentioned that. I think that's a really good idea. Yeah, if they had target of target in the UI.
Could have been a big flood.
Probably.
Maybe we're in a drought.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the warrior should be able to like throw a chain or something like that to pull mobs in. Like having death grip, for example, in WoW for a death knight is like one of the coolest and most badass abilities in the game. And I think that more tanks should have something like that. Or an axe, yeah, something like that.
Nice. I love the effects on the staff and their little bubble shield.
Yeah, these Minotaurs are awesome looking.
Yeah, they are. I like their size, just the general size. All right, looks like we got somebody over here to the right. Let me see if I can pull that guy as well.
And these are more seriously tuned for...
All right, get behind me.
Yeah, this seems like it's a lot harder. These are like the elites.
Yeah, these guys are more tuned towards that group. Now, this is intended for a full group. Of course, we are a party of 4. I am losing a bit of aggro on this guy. There we go, got him back.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, like, I'd be curious to hear other opinions on this, but I've never really liked the idea that you can lose aggro as a tank if you're just doing your rotation. It's just like chasing mobs around because what ends up happening is that people don't wait to DPS. They just don't do it. Even if you say to do it, they don't do it. So you could just, it's like whenever you have this in a game, what you're doing is you're just creating a situation that whenever players play the way that they usually play, it creates a frustrating outcome. What's the difficulty then for tanks? I think that the difficulty for tanks should be being able to have certain positional attacks that you can use to deal damage, to CC the mobs, and also to group the mobs, like with Death Knights being able to grip mobs in, stuff like that. That's what I like a lot more.
Let's knock him down to the ground. A little bit more deeps. Let's see. I could probably avoid that other guy over there.
I also think that the names over the NPCs, one thing that Warcraft does extremely well, especially whenever you have some add-ons, is it gives you all of the relevant information that an NPC like you need to know inside of their nameplate. Like, WoW has extremely good nameplates, and I think that's super necessary.
Grab this Echo.
Yeah, Plater, exactly.
Oh, he's coming toward us.
Yeah.
Aggro.
Uh-oh. All right.
Yeah, I don't think the names look super good either. To be fair, like, that's something that's it's always been like that. They just haven't changed that.
Good. Here we have this other one. I'm going to activate some shield for us.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm coming down.
No, Amanda.
Oh, whoa. No.
Okay, well, he died.
Flawless.
I'm back up. It's okay. It's okay. As long as the party... Oh, and the party died. Okay. Let me see here. We are okay. Let's get our... Oh, where did you guys go?
They're kiting away.
We're kiting. I think they're leashing now.
Okay. Let's let them leash. I see.
The fuck was that?
Poor GM Ferguson is here. Maybe we can get him up.
Over aggro. No, what happened is that they do AoE abilities. Like that guy did an AoE, and because Steven had the ability on that redirects damage to him, the AoE did all of that damage to him that was multiplied by the players that it would have hit. That's why he died.
Let's just avoid the guys to the right real quick.
Yeah, I think he patrolled over as you were moving up there.
Alright, I'm gonna come
Oh, there's
back.
one up there too.
Let's pull him back here. Let's pull him back.
Oh, that was like a boss.
Alright, I got the boss. Just the boss.
Okay, let's see how this looks.
Alright.
Yeah, this is like kind of what I was saying is that having to get aggro as a tank is just so unfun to me. Like that's why I don't play tank in New World. It's just not fun.
Okay, we got just the boss, so we should be good.
He's on me.
Knocking him down.
That's good.
We need to key him some heals.
He's out of range.
I like the, I feel like this is pretty strong damage mitigation from the grip.
Yeah, especially if you built up a bit of courage beforehand. Doing okay on mana.
Alright. Get him down, almost. This guy should have a mace for me, right?
Yep.
It seems
Ooh,
that
he's got
way.
the Hammer of Corin. Okay.
I think that kind of loot is fine too. Combat looks so stiff. Yeah, that's definitely true. I think making combat good is the hardest thing that games have to do. That's the one challenge that, like, if combat in a game isn't good, the game isn't good. But if combat is good, the game is good.
Looks like it has some physical penetration. Of course, these stats you'll see here are.
That's why WoW has like so much longevity.
Just yet.
The combat in WoW is so good.
If I can. Ooh, okay. So,
Made, greed, or pass. Okay.
in the group loot, obviously, there's a lot of functionality here that parties have the ability to customize. There can be loot master, there can be round robin, there can be need, greed, pass. That's applied on a per rarity basis, depending on the party's choices. Some materials, and now I should have the ability to use. So the Lorca Vindicta shield, that's not the shield I'm looking for. I'm trying to get a tower shield. But in the meantime, I can use.
Okay, he's going to use the hammer and the shield,
which works, I think.
All right, let's see
but
how
it's
this
not going to be
works.
as good as the tower shield, but it'll help. So now let me see what happens when I use my shield rush with this. Nice. Ooh, that felt good. Very cool.
That's decent.
Stay on me, little Echo. Little baby Echo. Hey, look at that. We're not too bad here.
Okay.
So talk to me a little bit about...
Effects are blinding? Yeah, there's a lot of flashy effects and things like that. I think that you can turn a lot of that down, though, to be fair.
As
long as you can turn it down,
some of the
that's
differences
fine.
that we had between.
But the issue is, like, you don't want to be able to turn it off, so you want to have, like, a very legible way to understand what the other players are doing without the indicator being blinding.
The tank archetype in Alpha 1 and the tank archetype that we will be having in Alpha 2.
Yeah, I could speak to that a bit. So for those of you that were part of Alpha 1, or have seen some of that footage, you might have noticed that the tank felt very much more like an offensive melee type. Something you'd almost expect more from the fighter. And part of that is because we didn't really have any other archetypes at that time to fill that role. So you're going to notice a lot more defense and control and threat mechanics on this version of the tank that you didn't necessarily see as much of prior. So as we've kind of already gone over a lot of the ability mechanics, you probably already noticed that you've got a lot more reliable mechanics that you can use pretty frequently to...
Maybe this is an unpopular take, but I actually would not care if this game had target locking in PvE. Like for using basic attacks for a bow or a staff or something like that. I think that's totally fucking fine. Because missing your charge like that is super annoying. And I don't think it should be for PvP. Absolutely fucking not. But for PvE, totally fine. Whenever I played New World, it was very annoying having to shoot every single arrow and aim every single arrow. The same with the staff, etc. That's why almost everybody that you see that plays the game for PvE is using a melee weapon.
Defend your party and also defend yourself.
And what is the type of tank role we're looking to achieve with this particular class fantasy, this class kit that we have?
I would say Ashes of Creation tank will be a pretty classic one, one that tank players are familiar with, and I think that's what people want. We don't need to necessarily redefine what the tank is, but I think we can improve it. There's some things that obviously you'll have your expected mechanics like threat management and generation, mitigation, control, battlefield control, CC effects, but then we'd also like to see more direct ways of protecting your party members too, exploring just like Aegis. That's just to be scratching the surface of that kind of thing, but being able
I think that's fine, but I wouldn't make it to where you have to use that kind of stuff all the time. That's my concern. Yeah, remove threat management from that. He's 100% correct. Yeah, definitely.
To actually actively take damage for your allies that isn't just manipulating the AI. Because another thing about tanks that I think a lot of people deal with other games is they're pretty bad in PvP. When threat is removed from the equation, what am I doing as a tank when players just ignore me? And so we want to offer more.
I feel like in WoW PvP, tanks are actually very good. They're either very good or very bad. And with New World, I feel like tanks are also extremely good. So, in my opinion, I think that as a tank, what really is your role in PvP? I think it's to maybe it's almost like a defensive bard almost, where you're buffing your party, giving them avoidance, maybe CCing players, doing stuff like that. Yeah, crowd control, stuff like that, or big damage. If you're very slow or something like that. It's hard to say.
Direct mechanics that force even players or encourage players to attack the tank to make it so that the tank can't protect their allies against you.
Yeah, I think traditionally I like playing a combination of tank healer.
Yeah, somebody says, why shouldn't taunt work in PvP? Because it's bad gameplay. I find that whenever my target or my camera is being redirected by another player, it's extremely jarring and annoying. This is regardless of whether it's fun or not, not whether it's balanced or not. I find the fundamental of that gameplay to be unpleasant.
I mean, I've also played, of course, mages and whatnot, DPSs. But I like the role of kind of the control aspect, the mitigation, the kind of protective nature, the ability to kind of route enemies in a fashion that is most conducive to the engagement of the encounter. That's what I really like here. So, as you can see, we're making good progress here. A lot better than the first round. Let's see. Once we get up here, I want to showcase a little bit of the wind actors on this grass that you guys kind of see around us.
Yeah, as I said, I think they should just do, like, Death Grip in WoW is fucking perfect. I love seeing stuff like that. Does you deal more damage? No, I'm fine with having Taunt that has a functionality in PvP. Taunt has a functionality in PvP right now for WoW. So, like, the more people that attack something with a taunt buff,
pieces of cake.
It takes more damage.
Better.
I think that's fine.
In small numbers.
In small numbers,
yeah,
that's true.
We're going to have some challenge ahead of us because this is a very dense area of these enemies, and if we're not careful with our positioning, we could end up with a big fight on our hands.
Agreed. Come over here, buddy boy. Yeah, what you got? Come on over. See, sometimes when I like to play from a showcase...
And also, like, you know, in terms of resources, I don't think it really makes a lot of sense for many classes to have mana. Like how in WoW, like, rogues have energy... you know, warriors have rage, mages have mana. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me that that warriors would have mana, for example.
Perspective, I do so in the realm of like a new player, persona-wise.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course. I see I'm ticking for 50. I don't know what that ticking for 50 is. Okay.
Sit for mana if y'all need it.
Yeah, let's sit here.
I think communal restoration or something applies a hot.
Oh yeah. Let me sit down.
No, that's cleansing.
Oh, you're right, cleansing.
I'm also, like, maybe this is an unpopular opinion since this game is like a little bit more old school, but anytime that you have to sit down for more than like 5 seconds to like regen your mana, like, I don't really. You know, like, why? Like, it's boring.
Take a seat and get some restorative mana.
One different resource for our
So you guys are going to
okay,
see here ahead
good.
of us. This is a pretty...
It's an old concept. Yeah, it is.
Grassy area. It's a beautiful area. I'm liking it. But I want to showcase a little bit of how abilities interact with the grass and with the foliage.
Okay, that's
so
good.
You'll remember that we have that kind of forward shout. And watch what happens when I use it here. Boom! Oh,
That's really cool. That's actually fucking badass. Let's watch that again.
And watch what happens when I use it here. Boom!
Yeah, that's
like
super fucking immersive. I love that.
Little AoE of anger and malice.
Holy shit.
I think that's a really cool touch of just like visual tech that a lot of games haven't really explored.
Absolutely.
Makes you feel like grounded in the world.
Yeah, that's badass.
I agree. It's very immersive. I would like to kind of move in this direction. Guys, kind of, if you want to stay close to me. All right, we'll see what we can accomplish here.
It would also be nice if, like, these NPCs had an indicator of how close you are to aggroing them. Like, for example, in Valheim, whenever you get near an NPC, it will have, like, a yellow exclamation point, and that's like, hey, it's been alerted that something is going on, and then a red exclamation point is like, okay, it has aggro, it's going after you. An aggro range indicator? Yeah.
Over this way, and I'm gonna grab...
No, people don't like that idea. Why? That just makes the game too easy, though? Wait, you think the game would be too easy if you could see if you were aggroing things? Like, you want not knowing if you're going to aggro something and then having multiple things aggro without you thinking that they're going to aggro? You want that as a difficulty factor? I don't. I think that sucks. It's annoying.
This guy over here. Sit down.
Okay.
Good. Let me know if you see any targets moving towards us.
I have a strong bias for convenience. I absolutely do, because I think convenience makes games better.
And we'll maybe approach this. Let's go this way.
Okay.
Stay close. And I'm going to pull this guy over real quick. There we go.
think he resisted you.
Graphics downgrade for the cave video when it first went under a 5. No, it's about the same, I would say.
Got on that.
Okay, it's okay. Just stay near me if you can. Keep heals on me. I got shield up. Let's focus down that one target. Target's dead. We'll switch over.
On me.
Yeah, the aggro I think would be like super frustrating to play.
All right, good. Now this is a...
Yeah, I would say so. Like, yeah, not being able to get aggro on stuff is awful. Shifting stupid things so they're challenging but fun things. Yeah, and that's kind of the way that I look at it, is that I think that like frictional things that like happen on accident and create tilt moments for games are not good, just in general. Like if a game creates an outcome that's frustrating or that's hard to understand and then you're punished for that, I don't think most people enjoy that. And I think that the challenge in a game should come from the mechanics of a boss. It should come from the healing output that you need to do for the boss, like some sort of pattern that you need to dodge, something like that. Actual skill-based content, rather than having these like weird pseudo skill things like knowing how far away a mob can aggro from. I don't find this to be like a particularly enjoyable thing to do. And I think also whenever you spend more time playing the game, you'll have to deal with people that don't know that, and then they'll aggro extra stuff because they're not aware of it. And it will create frustrating outcomes for a more minimal gain.
Pretty dense area. That's a problem.
Fight against the UI.
Let's try to pull this guy one at a time here.
Hold on, let me get people topped off.
Close if you can to me. All right, here we go. Okay, knock him. Nice. Focus him down. Activate the grip. Nicely done, nicely done. Let's grab this guy right
stuff from
here.
normal people don't know life the game. Yeah, exactly.
Get some aggro back from him. Nice. I love the effects on these guys. And the animation did a great job as well.
I think the effects are like they're very powerful, very high levels of effects. I could see playing this for like a few hours could give somebody like a little bit of a visual migraine. Yeah, way too many effects. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's move up over to this rock area. I need to sit real quick, if we can sit before the respawn occurs. Just grab some
line of sight.
Question mark, are we getting close? And inside range should be an exclamation mark? Yeah, something like
Serene.
That. I know. I couldn't even
hear
imagine.
The sound of the birds.
There's so many ghosts and shades in this area. It's kind of sad. Now, I believe in this particular Oakenbane Keep area, there used to be these old, magnificent kind of essence-ridden trees, but they were all harvested to produce kind of magical artifacty items, and now only one remains, which Lord Oakenbane himself guards.
All right, well, let's kill him.
I think I'm good. Let me grab this guy here. I'm just going to body pull him. Come on, buddy. There we go. Okay. You guys finish him off. I'm going to grab the next one. Okay, we've got the boss as well. I'm going to activate my grit.
Here we go. Let's see what this boss is like.
Try to focus the little dude first. Right, I'm going to try to knock the boss down. I'm going to put up a shield just in case you need it. Oh, I went down. coming back up.
Okay, here we go.
Knock him down now.
Is there not like a taunt ability?
Trying to drop some aggro.
Because yeah, I feel like you kind of need a taunt ability. Gameplay this month from last month already looks better. Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
Trying to get him off. Nice, good job. Keep it up. Almost.
And these are low-level mobs, so they're not going to have like a bunch of crazy abilities.
Not bad. Only one death.
Yeah, that wasn't
okay.
Too
There's
bad.
a tower shield.
We got a tower shield now.
All right, let's see how this works.
I need that, of course, as the tank.
You get all the loot this run.
Yay.
All right, let's see what the tower shield looks like.
It's the tank run.
All right, let me put on this glorious tower shield. And let me compare it, actually. Oh, I can't compare it. Ooh, there we go. I'm loving it.
It's a little bit better.
That is a true tower shield. Now, I'm, of course, to having like a medium-sized tower shield as a dwarf in most tabletop RPGs that I play, so that I just have complete cover against my enemies. But this is...
I think they should just do shields, make them a lot like either New World or Elden Ring, where it's like the bigger shields have, like more, more blocking stability, but they also weigh a lot more, or they make your character slower.
Not either. I like it. It's very, very polished, the metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fits with the armor from this area.
Pressure's much longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shields in New World have done well. Yeah, I think so too.
We have how many more bosses after this? We have a couple. We have a leggings and a chest piece. Now we really in that live stream did not perform well against the main boss dude. But again, this is an area intended for 8 people with pots and other supplies that we don't necessarily have access to. I'm gonna knock him down into 1.
Yeah, like a lot of other classic inspired MMOs, like you can still do it with lower numbers. It's just gonna take a while. You gotta be more careful.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about kind of, our decisions around allowing kind of content to get experienced by lower level players. What type of safeguards do we put from, power leveling or twinking? Obviously, we adjust experience based on level differential between the target enemy and the group. How do we kind of do that? Obviously, we take the difference in the party max level and the party's lowest level, and those things can indicate...
I don't think that power leveling somebody is a big deal. Like, I don't think that should be the meta, and I don't think it should be, like, super efficient to do that. But, like, I don't think it's the worst thing ever either. Like, if you want to help your friend get higher level, that way he's caught up with everybody else, I don't think that's, like, super bad.
The modifier that is applied to incoming experience based on the number of participants within that party. And those help safeguard those things. Which we're all accustomed to. Oh, God.
Yeah. And in addition to that, we also have experience bonus for grouping up. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Don't make the game worse just because you don't
It's
want
higher and higher the more people you have in your group to really encourage those.
You don't want to ban bots.
Yes.
That's really fair. Okay, so this is the boss.
And obviously,
like
the way that
area.
we kind of designed the encounter.
I will say this looks really fucking badass. Yeah, like being able to like walk in there and it has the guy that's waiting up there and he's obviously like the boss himself. That looks really cool.
Types of areas is that certain monsters will have certain types of strengths and weaknesses. Those, of course, will correlate to certain types of class kits. So some areas might be more beneficial for you to kind of XP in versus others. And a big role in that non-solo gameplay, of course, is going to be group composition, right?
Yeah, that's That's one thing I really love about our diverse class kits that we have available to us in Ashes is the diverse content that comes along with that, right? Like for an optimal group for one area might involve, 3 or 4 ranged DPS, but another area you might want to stack fighters for all their CC that they can bring. So different groups for different areas.
It's always a balancing act between knowing should you make something like very good to where people want to bring it for certain situations, but like how good, and if it's too good, then people are like, okay, well, we need to have one of these. It's always hard to know like where to draw the line there.
Easy.
Video on low quality setting? I do? No, it's on HD.
Far? Oh, we have to go just up this way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just up here and around the hill. He's on some ruins in the back.
Okay.
Come on over here, buddy. Come on.
Hey, Trad, can you change the loot rules to drop the rarity from what it's set right now, like 1 level? So that greens are rollable?
Oh, good call.
Where do I do that?
Options, party settings.
Hold up, Steven.
All right. Okay. Stand by. Tank
All right,
is standing
so
by.
I'm saying.
I'm gonna skip
what?
to the boss fight. I want to see the boss fight.
Yeah.
So, all right, I have common and uncommon, need or agree.
Look at this party.
Okay.
My Ranger Fantasy.
Really? Alright. Let's go kill this guy over here first. I think he has the leggings, yeah?
Okay, here we go. Here's another boss fight.
This guy. Get over here.
I think also like having action combat to where like you can dodge and avoid certain mechanics, like especially projectiles, feels really cool in certain games. Like obviously Elden Ring and like Dark Souls type stuff, New World has this, Lost Ark has this in certain ways. Yeah, I think this is good. Hopefully they have more of that.
I do like the old school feel of carefully navigating through the space.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying not to pull too many things at once.
Oh yeah, I'm not about that lawnmower combat at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jeremy, Doug, and their teams did a really good job on the encounters here.
Yeah, that can be a problem when you move into an area and it's just like overwhelmingly dense. And sometimes those areas you like are happy if there's other parties that are nearby, and you're like, okay, cool, you're keeping the spawn rate down for me a little bit. Oh, we got somebody. Oh God, let me.
I will also say like fighting against respawns is like not really the worst thing, but whenever you have to spend a long time to like regen mana and you're also dealing with respawns, I do think that does kind of get frustrating.
See if I can actively block that.
I love Master Pulse. Yeah, I do too.
What's
I think
up?
they're awesome.
What's up?
Nice.
Let's go again.
Skills.
I'm just gonna let you take that one. I need some mana.
I want to get him to shoot me again. Boom!
I'd like to explore like a perfect block thing where if you time it perfectly, you get an additional bonus.
Oh, that would be great. Like a kind of almost Gears of War where you have that active reload.
That's a great idea, by the way. I really hope they do that. Like Valheim has that as a parry. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Like making combat more reactive and adding nuances inside of the combat that is more than just pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The engineer in me is now crying.
We'll have to be a little forgiving for it, but like I've been playing Valheim lately, and it's really fun to do their perfect block.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling
really
that block.
well designed,
and it's just so good with the sound effects that are associated that Cat did on that bolt. Oh, it feels so good. Okay, looks like we're grabbing 2. Let me get aggro on the boss first. I'm gonna need some heals. Let me activate my. Yeah, you guys focus. I'm just gonna build up. I'm just gonna build up hate here on the boss. You guys focus down that ad.
Try and keep you both up.
I should be good. I have my grit active and I have my active block. You just keep Keenan alive. He looks like he's taking some damage.
Working on it. He's almost down.
How dare you? How dare this guy?
fruit peel coming up.
How dare him! Okay. The Arborist Historia.
Ooh.
That was avoidable.
Knocked him.
Oops.
Let me pull him over here a little bit. Come on over, buddy.
Well, he just does one ability.
Come to me.
He just does like the 4 things around them. And like again, these are like level 17 mobs. So like we shouldn't be comparing this to like a Mythic Plus dungeon boss in WoW. You should compare this to Dead Mines.
Knocking him. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Easy. Nice.
Okay, where to loot at?
Titan bark leggings. Sweet. We're almost there. I need that, of course.
Okay.
Need.
I need.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
We handled that guy with ease.
I'll also say that the visuals in the game, like, I think they look good. Like, they have good fidelity, but a little bit more, I don't really even know what the word is for it, but like kind of flair to some of the designs to make them look a little bit more, like, memorable, I guess. Like, for example, like, you can see certain areas in WoW, and you know exactly where that is based off of what the, you know, like, how the rocks are designed, or how the you know, like, the side of a fort or a wall is designed. Yeah, like, make things a little bit more stylized.
Maybe
art style. Okay, it's like that video we talked about yesterday. We watched yesterday.
I think if we just, you know, clear carefully, we'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, let's keep on clearing. I'm gonna pull the left side first. Stand by.
Okay,
I would pull them like back over here because we'll have mobs on both sides of you.
Dude, yeah, let's go over here. Actually, let's go to the right.
Okay, here we go. Best example is Elden Ring. Yeah, that's another good example.
It's the Echo.
Okay, so this is
only one left, and you want to chop it down.
I mean, this is kind of cool, like with this tree underneath on top of the crypt that's underneath it. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
I feel like are we having an earthquake? Like my table's moving. No, I think we're good.
Time to get some sleep, Steven.
I know, right? Oh my god.
Time for all of us to get some sleep.
I know. Alright, I'm gonna pull this guy up here. Stand by.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead a bit more just so we can see a little bit more of the environment too. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, this is almost it.
Watch the angle on the pull. Don't want to pull in front of Oakenbane.
He does a big AoE, so we're gonna have to spread out, and then we're gonna aggro if we do that.
Okay,
we have one behind us
right here. Stand right here on me in this position. Don't deviate from this one. Hold here. And then let me see if I can grab this Echo first.
Can't the archer just shoot him?
And if I can. There we go. Oh god, we got the boss. Okay, I'm gonna grab the boss. You guys kill the Echo.
Yeah. Take the boss back to his room.
Okay, stand by. Don't attack that boss. Alright, good. Oh god, it hurts! It hurts! Alright, I got the boss on the ground. Keep keening up! Oh god!
Ryan.
I'm holding.
I think the animation there, like, it's okay, but it could definitely use a lot of improvement, where it's like, I don't know exactly how you're supposed to tell, like, when the attack is gonna go, or like when it's gonna happen.
The boss
I can't keep up with that.
Okay, I'm good. Ignore me now.
Oh man.
Oh, so close. I'm gonna knock him down. Alright, good. We're good.
Dropping at chains.
Nice. Oh, thank God for this active block. Knocking him. Alright, holding aggro. I'm gonna pull him inside of his mausoleum where he should be laid to rest appropriately. Come here! Follow me! Okay. Into your final resting place, Lord Oakenbane.
Ooh. He didn't like that.
I do really like how
he's going to sleep. Shh, just go to sleep. Go to sleep.
It's hard for me to know, like, whether blocking should be like an active thing like this or not. +1, yeah. I'm not sure. Because, like, New World has this, whereas, like, WoW, whenever you're just getting attacked, you can block.
Do it!
I'm just saying, like, the reason why is because I think holding block and getting attacked, it kind of sucks. So it's like, this is something I'd have to really play and see how it feels.
Rest now.
It's happening. I commit you to the ground, Lord Oakenbane. Well
He's dead.
done,
okay, what does he drop?
ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good fight.
That was good. I'm grabbing my need on the Titan Bark chest plate. And then now it is time to reveal the glory of our pursuits.
Okay, let's see it.
I am going to equip said things.
Let's do it.
Oh, it looks so good.
Oh yeah,
That looks
It
good.
looks so
Yeah.
glorious.
That's good.
Jelly.
So,
how's
what
our
do you
art
guys
team so
think?
good?
I know. The art team is unbelievable. I mean, really. They're just so good.
I wouldn't expect it to be like something super fucking crazy because it's low level armor. It's like, basically a helmet with a little bit of flair to it.
Well, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this brief demonstration of our Alpha 2 preview for the tank archetype. Of course, as we said, this is all a work in progress. There are many things that will change. Testing is very important. Your feedback is incredibly important. Please make sure that you leave all commentary possible within the YouTube video, on our forums, on our Reddit, on Twitter, everywhere possible. We always take that stuff very seriously, and we iterate upon it, as you've seen between November's live stream and this month's live stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. Keenan, Trad, Brian, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Cheers.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I think this
Cheers.
combat definitely looked better than the last one. I would say that for sure. It's going to take a while for them to have the combat be as good as something like Lost Ark or BDO or something like that, which in my opinion is kind of like the gold standard. And even New World, like despite the desyncing stuff, has pretty good combat. That's what really has to work. It's improving every month. Yeah, I would say so. Let me link you guys the video. By the time it comes out, it will have iterations. Oh yeah, definitely. I do think that like for tanking, gaining aggro as a tank is not fun. It's annoying because then people are pulling aggro. You've got to let a lot of tank abilities are probably reactive in certain ways, like blocking, perfect blocking. That's all reactive. So like if you lose aggro and you have people that are like attacking and then you can't get aggro back and like you're doing less damage, so you're doing less aggro, it's like a very frustrating situation. And like whenever aggro was a big problem in WoW, it was not fun, in my opinion, to tank. And I think also like a good example of like how true this is that remember back whenever Burning Crusade came out and there was like this massive tank shortage because nobody wanted to play tank because it just wasn't fun to do shit damage and compete for aggro. Yeah, it just wasn't fun. And I think also New World has the same problem, that a lot of people don't like playing tank in New World because the gameplay of it is not enjoyable. Aggro is the best thing that existed to stand out. I don't really think so. I feel like the game has improved more in terms of combat as they've removed them. Let's see here. New World desync on Taunt is shocking. Yeah, of course that's an issue. And Stream, they said they sold 100,000 alpha keys. Holy shit. People crying about taking forever to release, but haven't seen hundreds of games that drop unfinished and fail miserably. No. I don't really care about that. The game will come out whenever it comes out, okay? Like, I don't know when that's going to be. I have no idea. But if it takes a while longer, then it takes a while longer. It doesn't really matter. They should only release it whenever they are ready to release it. Does that make sense? New Willy video is really good. Yeah, I might watch that. We'll see what happens. I'll look at it. I do think that this is a pretty big improvement from what we've seen last time. And I think, to me, whenever you're looking at like a new, what do you call it? Like a new game and like the development of the game, it's not even really where the game is, it's where the game is going and how it evolves. So I think that it's gotten better over time, and hopefully that will continue to be the case. That's why they don't release the game anytime soon, because they can make more money riding hype like Star Citizen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to get into like some conspiracy weird thing like that or whatever. I have no idea. I think if the game was out, you could probably make more money off of it because you're selling subscriptions. Like, you know, you're selling 100,000 alpha keys. How many times can you sell that? You can only sell that one time. So you want to have different ways for people to spend money more regularly, and that's just what makes sense. So I don't think that's a very good way to look at it. Can I say it's way much better video? Yeah, exactly. I like this. Hopefully we will see more combat like this, and you know, they'll fix a little bit more of the desync type stuff, and the fuck. I'm having a hard time with words today. I don't really know why. They'll fix the clunkiness, I guess you could say. Yeah, the clunkiness and that kind of stuff.